in the calm expanse of a typical day on Earth, the skies were torn asunder by the arrival of the Zorvax fleet. Emerging from rifts in the very fabric of space, their ships blotted out the sun over major cities, casting a shadow both literal and metaphorical over humanity. Initial reactions ranged from awe to terror. The world stood still, its collective gaze turned to the Zorvax, through a broadcast that hijacked every digital screen, declared Earth as their next conquest. They spoke of their interstellar journey, seeking planets to subjugate, and Earth was merely the latest. Their message was clear. Resistance was futile. However, even as some among humanity despaired, others saw a spark of defiance kindle. While the world's leaders scrambled to respond, negotiating with an enemy that seemed invincible, the seeds of resistance began to sprout in unexpected places. From the ruins of a ravaged New York City to the still untouched landscapes of the Amazon rainforest, from the bustling, now silent streets of Tokyo to the rural expanses of Africa, humans contemplated their response. The initial shock gave way to a resolve, a determination not to bow down, not to give up their home without a fight. As the Zorvax began their descent, deploying ground troops to take control, they expected little in terms of organized resistance. They were met instead by a species united by a common enemy, a species renowned not for their technology or martial prowess, but for their unyielding spirit. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and though the Zorvax came prepared to conquer, they would find humans unbreakable. As the Zorvax began their methodical conquest of Earth, their advanced technology and overwhelming force left many areas in ruins. Yet, in the aftermath of these initial strikes, the spirit of humanity proved more resilient than the alien invaders had anticipated. Across the globe, from the underground bunkers of Moscow to the rugged outbacks of Australia, from the technological havens of Silicon Valley to the ancient streets of Cairo, groups of survivors emerged, refusing to submit to despair. Among these survivors, leaders arose, each embodying the best of human ingenuity, bravery, and spirit. Dr. Elena Morales, a brilliant scientist who had devoted her life to the study of extraterrestrial technologies, became an unexpected beacon of hope. Before the invasion, her theories on alien technology were considered fringe at best, dismissed by the broader scientific community. Yet, in this new world, her expertise became invaluable. With a makeshift laboratory set up in the ruins of a university, Morales began to unravel the secrets of the Zorvax technology captured during early skirmishes. Her breakthroughs offered not just a glimmer of hope, but a tangible weapon against the alien oppressors. General Nathan Pierce, a seasoned military strategist whose career had spanned numerous global conflicts, found himself waging a war unlike any other. With conventional military forces devastated by the Zorvax's arrival, Pierce's tactics evolved. He orchestrated a global guerrilla warfare campaign, uniting scattered military remnants and civilian volunteers into a formidable resistance. His strategies were not about outright victory. They were about survival, about striking when least expected, and about turning the aliens' strengths into weaknesses. Amid the chaos, a figure emerged from the shadows, known only as the Voice. With no face to the name, the Voice broadcast messages of resistance and unity, reaching every hidden radio and cracked digital screen left on Earth. This enigmatic leader, whose true identity remained a mystery, became a symbol of the undying human spirit. The Voice's impassioned speeches, filled with stories of human endurance and calls to action, inspired countless to join the resistance. They reminded everyone that humanity's strength lay not in its technology or weapons, but in its heart and its unwavering resolve to stand together. These three figures, each from wildly different backgrounds, became the pillars upon which the human resistance was built. Dr. Morales's innovations provided the means to fight back. General Pierce's tactics offered a path to survival, and the Voice's words kept the flame of hope alive in the darkest of times. Together, they achieved what had seemed impossible. Disparate groups of survivors began to form coherent, coordinated movements. Scientists and soldiers, teachers and farmers, the young and the old, all came together under the banner of the resistance. They shared a common goal: to reclaim their planet from the invaders who had sought to conquer them. Since the resistance movements grew, so did their successes. Small victories, like the liberation of a town or the successful defense of a hidden refuge, became symbols of what could be achieved. Humanity, in all its diversity and complexity, found unity in the face of extinction. The Zorvax, who had expected to encounter a fractured and defeated species, found instead an adversary defined by its resilience, creativity, and unbreakable will. This period of resistance marked the beginning of humanity's fight back against the Zorvax. It was a testament to the idea that even in the darkest of times, hope can flourish, and unity can turn the tide of the seemingly unwinnable battles, which as the resistance movements gained momentum. The foundation was laid for what would become humanity's most significant counteroffensive, one that would define the future of the planet and its inhabitants. The shadowed remains of what was once a bustling metropolis. A pivotal moment unfolded that would alter the course of humanity's struggle. A Zorvax scout, isolated from its unit by a meticulously executed ambush, became the first of its kind to fall into human hands. This event, seemingly minor in the grand tapestry of the war, proved to be the turning point for the resistance. Dr. Elena Morales, alongside a team of the world's remaining leading xenobiologists and engineers, led the interrogation and examination of the captured scout. Initial attempts to communicate revealed the Zorvax's advanced neural interfacing, a technology that allowed them direct mental control over their technology. The breakthrough came when Dr. Morales, using a combination of reverse-engineered Zorvax tech and human ingenuity, managed to interface with the scout's neural network. What they discovered was revelatory. The Zorvax, it turned out, were not conquerors by choice but by necessity. Their homeworld, ravaged by centuries of resource depletion and environmental collapse, had left them in a desperate search for a rare mineral, triaxinum, essential for their technology and survival. Earth, however, lacked any trace of triaxinum, a fact that the Zorvax had been unaware of until their arrival. This discovery shed new light on the invasion, painting the Zorvax not as mere aggressors, but as a species fighting for their existence. The revelation of the Zorvax's reliance on triaxinum became the linchpin of the resistance's strategy. Humanity now knew that the Zorvax were far from home, operating at extended supply lines, and reliant on scavenging resources from conquered worlds. This dependence was their Achilles heel, a weakness that, if exploited, could level the playing field. General Nathan Pierce quickly adapted the resistance's tactics with this new information. Raids and sabotage missions targeted the Zorvax's supply chains, disrupting their access to the vital resources scavenged from Earth and other planets. Each successful operation weakened the Zorvax's operational capabilities, forcing them to commit more resources to protect their lifelines. The voice, leveraging this crucial intelligence, intensified the psychological warfare against the Zorvax. Pasts highlighting the Resistance's growing understanding of the Zorvax and their vulnerabilities circulated globally, bolstering human morale and painting the invaders as beatable foes. These messages also reached the Zorvax, sowing doubt and highlighting their precarious position so far from their own resources. As the Resistance capitalized on the Zorvax's dependence on triaxinum, a broader strategy began to form. Humanity started to see the possibility of not just surviving the Zorvax invasion, but actively pushing them back. The Resistance began to gather strength, with more joining their ranks, inspired by the tangible hope that they could win. This phase of the conflict marked a significant evolution in the war against the Zorvax. What began as a desperate struggle for survival transformed into a calculated campaign to exploit the enemy's weaknesses. The Resistance's efforts to understand the Zorvax shifted the narrative of the war, embodying the age-old adage, knowledge is power. The capture of the Zorvax scout and the subsequent discovery of their reliance on triaxinum illustrated humanity's resilience and adaptability. It underscored the idea that even the most formidable enemies have vulnerabilities, and with the right strategy, even the underdog can emerge victorious. As the Resistance prepared for the next phase of the conflict, armed with new knowledge and renewed hope, they knew the war was far from over. Yet, for the first time since the dark day of the Zorvax arrival, the future seemed a little brighter, a testament to humanity's unbreakable spirit. In the shadowed ruins of what was once a bustling metropolitan center, now a labyrinth of destruction, under the cold gaze of alien occupiers, the seeds of a daring plan took root. The human resistance, bolstered by their recent understanding of the Zorvax's reliance on a rare mineral absent from Earth, was ready to strike back. The target was an isolated Zorvax outpost, situated in a region that had seen some of the earliest and fiercest fighting. This outpost was not just a military hub. It was a research facility, rumored to house advanced technologies, and perhaps even the secrets to the Zorvax's swift interstellar travel. General Nathan Pierce, leveraging the guerrilla warfare tactics that had become the Resistance's signature, orchestrated the raid. It was a high-risk operation, requiring precision and coordination among units that had never fought side by side. Pierce knew the element of surprise was their greatest weapon against a foe who believed humans to be scattered and broken. The night before the assault, Dr. Elena Morales met with the strike team. In her hands were devices of her own creation, inspired by the captured Zorvax scouts' technology. These devices were designed to disrupt the Zorvax's communications temporarily, creating chaos within their ranks at the crucial moment. She explained their operation with a calm confidence that belied the tension gripping her heart. This raid was the culmination of her research, the first real test of humanity's ability to turn the aliens' technology against them. As the resistance fighters moved into position under the cover of darkness, the voice broadcasted across all available channels a message of hope and defiance. This was more than a raid. It was a statement. Humanity would not go quietly into the night. The attack commenced at dawn, just as the first rays of light began to reclaim the sky from the night's darkness. Explosions rocked the outpost as the disruptors activated, throwing the Zorvax defenders into disarray. Human fighters, their morale ignited by the chance to strike a real blow against their oppressors, fought with a ferocity that startled their alien adversaries. The battle was chaotic, a melange of human determination and alien technology clashing in the early morning light. But the humans had planned well, and their unpredictability, a trait the Zorvax had yet to fully understand, was their advantage. The resistance breached the outpost's defenses, securing sections of the alien facility one by one. In the heart of the outpost, the resistance found what they had hoped for and more: caches of advanced weaponry, archives of alien knowledge, and, most importantly, detailed data on the Zorvax fleet's logistical operations. The cost was steep, with losses on both sides, but the raid was a success. The recovery of alien technology and information from the outpost provided not just a morale boost, but a treasure trove of opportunities. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity could study, replicate, and potentially improve upon the aliens' technology. Dr. Morales and her team worked tirelessly, reverse engineering devices and integrating Zorvax technology with human ingenuity. The raid on the Zorvax outpost became a legend, a turning point in the Resistance's fight. It proved that the alien invaders were not invincible, that with courage, unity, and a bit of stolen alien technology, humanity could fight back. The victory was more than just a military success. It was a beacon of hope, illuminating the possibility of a future where Earth was free once more. The raid on the Zorvax outpost, a daring gambit that had paid off beyond the wildest dreams of the Resistance, became the spark that ignited a global conflagration of defiance against the alien invaders. News of the successful assault and the capture of alien technology spread like wildfire, not just among the scattered cells of the human resistance, but across the entire planet, reaching even the most remote and isolated survivors of the Zorvax onslaught. It was a story of David and Goliath retold, a narrative that resonated deeply with the besieged human spirit. In the aftermath of the raid, a remarkable transformation took place. The divisions that had once fractured humanity, borders, languages, ideologies, began to crumble under the weight of a shared purpose. The existential threat posed by the Zorvax served as a stark reminder that survival depended on unity, not division. Former rivals, countries that had spent centuries locked in cycles of conflict and competition, reached out to each other with offers of aid, cooperation, and shared intelligence. The Resistance's victory had shown that the Zorvax could be beaten, that their technology could be understood and exploited. This revelation became the foundation upon which a new global alliance was. Scientists and engineers from nations around the globe convened, sharing data and insights gleaned from the captured Zorvax technology. Military strategists pooled their knowledge, crafting a unified approach to guerrilla warfare that could be adapted and implemented in diverse terrains and environments. Leaders and diplomats worked tirelessly to ensure the smooth exchange of resources, ensuring that every group of resistance fighters was equipped to contribute to the struggle. This newfound unity of purpose transformed the human resistance from a collection of isolated cells into a coordinated global force. As the efforts to resist the Zorvax became more organized and effective, the invaders found themselves facing an enemy unlike any they had encountered, a united humanity, drawing strength from its diversity and resilience. The unity forged in the fire of alien conquest became humanity's greatest weapon, a beacon of hope in the darkest of times, and a testament to the indomitable human spirit. The turning point in humanity's struggle against the Zorvax came not from a singular act of heroism or a decisive battle, but from a meticulously planned global assault that capitalized on the unity and determination of Earth's defenders. This operation, codenamed Dawn's Light, was the culmination of months of preparation, intelligence gathering, and technological innovation, all aimed at exploiting the Zorvax's critical weakness, their dependency on a rare mineral absent from Earth. Central to the success of Dawn's Light was the coordination between the newly unified human factions. Communication networks, rebuilt and hidden from Zorvax surveillance, buzzed with encrypted messages as forces across the globe synchronized their watches for the impending strike. General Nathan Pierce, alongside his counterparts from other nations, orchestrated the complex operation, ensuring that each unit knew their role in the grand scheme. The target was the Zorvax main processing facility for the rare mineral, located on the moon. Intelligence gathered by Dr. Elena Morales' team had revealed that without this facility, the Zorvax fleet's energy shields would weaken significantly, rendering them vulnerable to attack. The plan was audacious, requiring a simultaneous assault on the facility and Zorvax positions on Earth to distract and divide their forces. As D-Day arrived, the Resistance launched its opening salvo. Stealth teams, using technology reverse-engineered from the Zorvax, infiltrated the moon base, planting explosives and hacking into the facility's control systems. Meanwhile, on Earth, a series of coordinated attacks began, targeting Zorvax outposts and drawing their fighters away from the moon. The battle was fierce. Human forces, utilizing guerrilla tactics and improvised weaponry, engaged the Zorvax in hit-and-run attacks, inflicting damage and sowing chaos among the alien ranks. The Resistance fighters, though outgunned, leveraged their knowledge of the local terrain and the element of surprise to great effect. Every human involved knew the stakes. This was not just a battle for survival, but a fight for the future of their planet. As the explosives detonated on the moon, a wave of energy fluctuations rippled through the Zorvax fleet. Shields flickered and failed, leaving their ships exposed to the Resistance's improvised arsenal. It was a moment of triumph, but the battle was far from over. The humans pressed their advantage, launching a relentless assault on the now vulnerable alien ships. The skies over Earth lit up with the fire of battle as human and Zorvax forces clashed. The Resistance, bolstered by their initial success, fought with renewed vigor, driven by the knowledge that victory was within reach. Amidst the chaos, stories of bravery and sacrifice emerged, tales that would be told for generations. Pilots executed daring maneuvers to bring down superior enemy craft. Soldiers held their ground against overwhelming odds, and civilians provided whatever support they could, from hiding Resistance fighters to sabotaging Zorvax equipment. In the end, Dawn's Light achieved its objective. The destruction of the mineral processing facility on the moon crippled the Zorvax fleet, turning the tide of the war in humanity's favor. The victory was not without cost. Many brave souls were lost in the assault, and the scars of the battle would mark both the planet and its people for years to come. Yet, as the dust settled and the last of the Zorvax ships retreated, a sense of cautious optimism spread among the human survivors. The turning point in the war against the Zorvax was a testament to what humanity could achieve when united against a common foe. It showcased not just the bravery and ingenuity of the human spirit, but the strength found in diversity and cooperation. The battle for Earth was far from over, but Dawn's Light had illuminated a path to victory, a beacon of hope in humanity's darkest hour. The campaign against the Zorvax, culminating in the daring operation known as Dawn's Light, had shifted the balance of power significantly. Humanity, once on the brink of annihilation, now sensed the possibility of victory. The weakening of the Zorvax fleet, thanks to the destruction of their mineral processing facility on the moon, had given Earth's defenders a glimmer of hope. However, the war was not yet won. The Zorvax mothership, a colossal vessel that loomed like a dark specter over Earth, remained a potent threat. It was the source of the invasion, the command center from which the Zorvax orchestrated their campaign of conquest. To secure Earth's future, the mothership had to be destroyed. General Nathan Pierce, Dr. Elena Morales, and the enigmatic figure known only as the Voice, who had been revealed as a former diplomat named Marcus Lee, spearheaded the planning of this final assault. The operation, named Eclipse, was humanity's most ambitious endeavor yet. It required every resource, every piece of knowledge, and every fighter that the Resistance could muster. The plan was simple in its audacity. a direct assault on the mothership using a combination of captured Zorvax fighters, human-engineered spacecraft, and a specially designed weapon that Dr. Morales had developed from the alien technology. The hours leading up to the assault were tense. Across the globe, humans watched the skies, knowing that the fate of their planet hung in the balance. Resistance fighters prepared for battle, their resolve hardened by the losses they had endured, and the slim hope that their actions could end the war. In hidden bases and makeshift labs, scientists and engineers made final adjustments to the weapons and ships that would carry the hopes of their species. As the Resistance fleet launched from Earth, a silence fell over those who remained behind. The fleet, a mix of human ingenuity and alien technology, sped towards the mothership, weaving through the debris of earlier battles. A stark reminder of the cost of this war. Pierce, aboard the flagship, coordinated the attack, while Morales monitored the performance of the experimental weapon, crucial to their plan's success. The Zorvax, caught off guard by the ferocity and scale of the attack, scrambled to defend their mothership. Battles raged in the void of space, a chaotic dance of destruction and survival. Human pilots, some flying captured Zorvax fighters, engaged the alien defenders with reckless bravery, exploiting their newfound knowledge of the enemy's tactics and technology. The climax of the battle came as the Resistance fleet breached the mothership's outer defenses. Marcus Lee, his voice calm and steady, broadcast a message of peace and defiance, offering the Zorvax one final chance to end the conflict without further bloodshed. The aliens, however, refused, clinging to their belief in their right to conquer. It was then that Dr. Morales' weapon was deployed. The device, powered by a core of alien technology adapted for human use, targeted the mothership's energy systems. The effect was instantaneous and devastating. A cascade of explosions rocked the massive vessel, its shields failing, its weapons silenced. In the final moments, as the mothership began to implode, the Resistance fighters made their escape, their ships streaking back towards Earth. The explosion that followed was a brilliant flare in the darkness of space, a beacon of victory and a signal of the war's end. The aftermath of the battle saw humanity emerge victorious but profoundly changed. The destruction of the Zorvax mothership marked the end of the invasion, but the cost had been immense. Cities lay in ruins, populations were decimated, and the scars of the conflict would take generations to heal. Yet, in the wake of their darkest hour, humans found new strength in their unity. The war had brought together former rivals, forged unlikely alliances, and proven that when faced with extinction, humanity could rise above its divisions. The Resistance's leaders, once symbols of the fight for survival, became architects of the rebuilding effort, guiding Earth towards recovery and a future filled with promise. The final battle against the Zorvax would be remembered, not just as a military victory, but as a testament to human resilience. It was a confirmation that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity's spirit was indeed unbreakable. Since the war had ended, but the journey to rebuild and to ensure such a catastrophe would never befall Earth again was just beginning. Humanity had prevailed, but the universe was vast and filled with unknowns. The victory was a moment to savor, a time to mourn and to celebrate, but above all, it was a call to look forward, to learn, and to prepare for whatever challenges the future might hold. In the aftermath of the war against the Zorvax, Earth stood silent, a testament to the resilience of its inhabitants. The alien threat had been vanquished, but at a cost that was etched into the very fabric of the planet. Cities once teeming with life lay in ruins, ecosystems were disrupted, and countless lives had been lost. Yet, amid the devastation, a new dawn broke for humanity. The war had razed the old world, but in its ashes, seeds of unity and determination sprouted, promising the growth of something unprecedented. The victory over the Zorvax was a bitter one. Families mourned their loss, and leaders grappled with the monumental task of rebuilding. However, this shared grief and the collective relief of survival wove a strong bond among Earth's inhabitants. Nations that had once eyed each other with suspicion now shared a bond forged in the crucible of alien fire. The war had stripped away the petty differences, revealing the undeniable truth that humanity was one tribe, one people facing the vast, indifferent expanse of the universe. As the immediate needs of shelter, food, and security were addressed, humanity turned its gaze to the stars once more. But this time, the look was not one of naive curiosity, but of a seasoned voyager aware of the dangers that lay in the cosmic ocean. The technologies salvaged and reverse-engineered from the Zorvax, combined with human ingenuity, sparked a renaissance of innovation. Energy sources became cleaner and more efficient, medical advances healed wounds and cured diseases thought incurable, and quantum computing took leaps forward, enabling rapid processing of vast amounts of data. This new era of technological advancement was not just about progress for its own sake. It was driven by the desire to protect Earth, to ensure that never again would humanity be caught off guard by threats from the unknown. Space exploration programs were revitalized, not just in the pursuit of knowledge but as a strategic imperative. Humanity began to establish outposts and colonies on nearby planets and moons, creating a network of early warning systems and defensive planets. The universe remained vast and dangerous, but humans were no longer mere spectators. They were active participants, ready to defend their home and explore the mysteries of the cosmos with caution and respect. In the war against the Zorvax had changed humanity in profound ways. It had revealed the depths of human courage, the strength that arises from unity, and the unbreakable spirit of a species determined to survive. As Earth rebuilt, its people did so with the knowledge that they were the custodians of a small, precious oasis in the vast desert of space. The future was uncertain, filled with challenges and opportunities, but humanity faced it as one, undaunted and unbroken, forever changed by the war that had brought them to the brink and back. As the sun rose on a planet scarred yet steadfast, humanity embarked on a journey into a future irrevocably altered by the conflict with the Zorvax. The war had laid bare the fragility of human existence, yet it also highlighted an indomitable will to survive, to protect home and kin against any odds. This new dawn was not just a continuation of days, but a beginning of an era marked by unity, vigilance, and a resolve to ensure the survival of Earth and its inhabitants. In the wake of victory, leaders from around the globe convened, their prior disputes rendered insignificant against the backdrop of a common enemy defeated. The formation of the Global Defense Initiative GAI was a testament to humanity's newfound solidarity, drawing on the advanced technologies salvaged from the Zorvax and the best minds from across the planet. The GAI's mandate was clear: to safeguard Earth against any future extraterrestrial threats. Surveillance satellites now peppered the sky, a vigilant eye on the cosmos, while research into interstellar travel and defense technologies accelerated. Is the legacy of the Zorvax, a formidable foe that had brought humanity to the brink, served as a stark reminder of the universe's vast unknowns. Memorials were erected, not to glorify war but to honor the resilience and spirit of those who had fought, those who had sacrificed everything for their home. These monuments stood as silent sentinels, inspiring future generations with stories of valor and unity, reinforcing the lesson that no challenge was too great when faced together. This era, dubbed the New Dawn, was characterized by hope. Humanity looked forward with a cautious optimism, aware of the dangers that lay beyond their world yet emboldened by their triumphs. The universe remained a place of endless mystery and potential peril. But Earth stood ready, a united species on a small blue planet, gazing outward, determined to write their own destiny among the stars.